Hello. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. This is the week of October 9th. There it is, October 9th already. There's going to be some changes, so let's see why. The moon is over there in Leo. You see it? It's in Leo. It's in a fixed sign, right? The last video, we showed how the moon started off in Taurus energy, and in 7 days' time, Taurus energy being fixed Earth, in 7 days' time, it traveled and ended up in Leo. The moon is now at 23 degrees in Leo energy. So we started over here with the moon in Taurus, and then that went through Gemini. So remember, we had to figure out how the moon was going to change our emotional needs, like what things were going to emotionally satisfy us. Earth, values, love, money, desires, Taurus. Gemini would be learning, teaching, something different likely, but talking and communication is big here. This is sibling energy. This is next door neighbor energy. This is classmates and coworkers. Business and the markets, the stock market, business and trade, the housing market. That's Gemini as well. Sales. Then we go to Cancer energy, family, home, mom. The moon rules the sign of Cancer. And then it's here now in Leo. That means that in the next 7 days, the moon is going to now travel 2.5 days in each sign. Leo, then Virgo, then Libra, and then it's going to end up over here in Scorpio in another fixed sign in 7 days' time. It'll be at Scorpio at 18 degrees. I kind of drew it in there already. Fixed doesn't like change. It's stubborn. Scorpio is our shared values and shared resources. All right. So we have to think about those 7 days' time and just understanding that as your mood changes, the moon, the things you feel that you need to satisfy you emotionally, sometimes it can be, well, it goes into Virgo, health routines, right? Cleanliness. Libra, relationships, things being fair, equal, and balanced. We go and we look at Venus, and look where Venus is on October 9th. We got Venus starting at 0 degrees. Very sensible, very practical, very, I can see the details and I can cut through the bullshit. Virgo. So that's going to really change the flavor of things. Folks, we had Venus hanging out in Leo the entire summer, but the games are now over because Venus has moved into the very sensible sign of Virgo. She's practical, she's logical, she's really smart here, especially with her values, especially with her money. And it says, don't tell me, literally, let me see it in practice. Let your actions prove who you really are. No more performances. She moves 7 degrees, which means that by October 16th, Venus will be sitting there at 7 degrees. Okay, so we're going to go take a look at Mercury and grab her. We're going to take her over. Mercury's moving. She's in Libra. So I talked about this last week. It's all about compromise. It's all about let's do what we need to do. Now, she was here the week before already, right? But the difference was Venus was still over there in Leo playing games. These two are siblings. So Venus over here in Virgo is able to have a direct line to Mercury and to say, okay, the shenanigans are over. This is how we make this shit happen. This is how we move forward. These two siblings talk all the time. but Venus was being a little bit silly. And it's not to put her at fault, trying to figure out where her values lied. She had to truly figure out, do I still value this? And she is communicating over to Mercury about what is important, what the true values are, but they're grounded. It's things that can provide stability. So this all spells a really good picture for this week as Venus travels through Virgo energy. So she's in Earth. Look what's in Earth across the chart. Of course, have vertex there, and we have Jupiter, and we have Uranus, Earth energy. Remember, Taurus, Earth is stabilizing energy, right? So is Capricorn. Go to the other Earth across the chart, Capricorn energy. There's not a whole lot there by transit in the low numbers, but look, we got Vega at 15 and we have Pluto at 27. And do you see what I see? Do you see what Pluto's going to do? Pluto is still in red here. And yeah, this is on the 9th, but Pluto's going extremely slow because Pluto is about to go direct. Changes business and government. Here's Mars. Look at the numbers, 28 degrees. Because this Mars at 28, it will then move into Scorpio energy. And it'll be sitting here at roughly 3 degrees of Scorpio because it's slow. Mars isn't fast. And remember, Scorpio is about shared values, our shared values, our shared money, what we value. But let's back up for a second. What about the Mars on this Monday at 28? Yeah, 28. So that means on Sunday, if we go backwards, that Saturday, that Mars in cardinal energy is squaring Pluto. A Mars and Pluto square. This Pluto is now moving direct. And it happens the very next day. We have Pluto going direct at 27, almost 28 degrees because it pretty much is still at 2753. But it's forward movement. Anytime things go direct, it's almost like if there was a slowdown, if there was a delay, there's like a green light. But it's more of a yellow light because Pluto's retrograde began at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So technically, this Pluto, to get to 0 degrees, I think it was 020 or 019. It was something close to that, like 0 degrees in 19 minutes. And remember, the minutes matter with Pluto. I do have another video for Pluto up. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it below. And it's about this Pluto going direct. But the point is, even though Pluto's moving direct, it's still within its shadow zone. And its shadow zone is 0 degrees of Aquarius to 2753 of Capricorn. And this area is being worked on. It's not done being worked on. It will continue to be worked on for the change. When I say worked on, power, people of power, governments, big businesses, individuals who have sick amounts of money, who control governments, who control the businesses, who control the 99% of the population. You follow? And so what will happen is Pluto is there to make those changes and to say, did you abuse your power that I gave you? If you have, I am here to take your power from you because that's what Pluto's job, that's what it does. It makes deep changes and transformations through a dying of an old way, of pulling something out by the root and getting rid of it because it no longer works for the good of all. And that is Pluto's goal, believe it or not. Pluto goes direct on the 10th, and we're going to take a look at the sun. It's in Libra. All this Libran energy tells us that it's more square, more angles, more stress to the cardinal energy. Cardinal, again, I did this last week and we're still doing it this week because everything is in Libra. And so it squares and stress and tensions all the Capricorn energy. Remember, there is an eclipse. Now, there's already videos out about that. There's a couple of videos out about the eclipse, but just so you see it, here it is. This is the eclipse that is in Libra, and it is on the 14th of October. It is a solar eclipse because the sun and the moon are together. You see that? The sun and the moon are together. And I just drew it in real quick here for you. And it happens roughly around that 21 degree mark, 21, 22 degrees, roughly. Okay. So that's a solar eclipse, new moon, solar eclipse, but it is a south node new moon solar eclipse. Eclipse, new moon, because it's near a node. The node's close enough. Remember, the node represents a release, and the new moon, the sun and the moon together, represents a new beginning. And yes, it's in Libra. So think of your Libra keywords, and then that will kind of fill in some of the blanks for you. And I'll put the links to the videos down below for you. October 14th, new moon solar eclipse, 21 degrees. You got the sun in 7 days' time conjunct the south node, a big release. And remember, the sun is an authority figure. It's somebody that you've heard of. It's somebody who's in the spotlight. This can be in politics, likely law, lawyer, because it's in Libra. So partnerships, business partnerships, whoever was like the boss in a sense, when we think of Libra energy. Sun conjunct Libra, south node. I just said sun conjunct. South node and the sun conjunct. South node is a release. That's release energy right there. Okay. Now, that south node is going to keep going lower in numbers, but the sun will gain in numbers. It'll go higher up. So in 7 days' time, the sun will be right here. It's at 22. So in 7 days' time, add 7 to 22. Sun's at a critical degree then, which means the sun will be squaring Pluto. And that will be the video for next week. That's where we'll pick up next week when we have the sun in Libra squaring Pluto. So changes within business and government and people who are in charge.